So here we are to talk about my 10 tips for great gift giving. Here's where I want to start. The reason that you are giving the gift. I am of the belief that for the most part, we should be skipping the A, B's, and C's. What are those? Those are anniversaries, birthdays, Christmas, or Hanukkah, which I normally spell with an H. We're going to make it a C for this. Like, if you give people gifts on the same normal holidays as everybody else, they just don't stand out. And also by doing it that way, you're sort of forcing yourself into getting gifts for everybody, which prevents you from having the time and the money to make the gifts correct. So I am of the belief that unless you have some ridiculously large gift budget, you would be better off skipping those times and giving them a gift for their half birthday or for some random day that makes sense to them. That's where you're going to find a lot of success when it comes to standing out and staying top of mind with your referral sources. Number 2, you have to think about gifting them, not about gifting you. So a Yeti cup with your law firm's logo is not a gift for them. You need to make this really personal to something that they are interested in. Ideally, you know them well enough to know what they want. So for example, if they're really into golf, something along those lines makes sense. But if they're not, it doesn't. Getting the same, even super nice bottle of wine for all your referral sources is not top level gift giving because that's still not about them. So you need to find the individual reason to give everybody gifts. I am reminded about the episode of Parks and Rec where Leslie Knope torments Ron Swanson about his birthday. Birthday.
Birthdays were invented by Hallmark to sell cards.
It's so amazing because Ron spends the entire time expecting he's going to get some giant crazy birthday party when that's the last thing that he wants, only to find out at the last minute that what he's getting is watching Bridge Under the River Kwai with a steak in his quiet office. Leslie made it about him, made it about what he wanted. That's how you're going to give the best gifts. Number 3, use referral sources to make gifts. If you are getting something for somebody, you have the option completely to order it off Amazon or some giant retailer. However, think about if there's an opportunity for you to make this a win-win-win and utilize a referral source or a local business. For example, for us, we have prior clients that are photographers. So when we are doing firm photos, boom, there we go. If I were to gift somebody else a photo shoot, I would use my client. We've got former clients that are caterers. So if I'm trying to give a treat or host an event or whatnot, I'm thinking about them. So when it comes to gift giving, think about how you can use the act of giving a gift to create a win and build a connection with somebody else. If it's going to be promo products, don't order off custom made. Find somebody local. Really try to see how you can turn this into a win-win-win. That's how your gift giving is going to maximize the impact that you have in the community and ultimately increase the chance that you are going to get great results from it. Number 4, let's assume that you don't necessarily know who's all of your referral sources, what they love. So don't forget about their assistant. Best case scenario, you have your assistant contact their assistant and say, hey, the executive that I work for is trying to get something for the executive that you work for. Can you give me some insight? Is there anything they've been talking about, something they're interested in? And hopefully you'll find a great gift through this process. If you don't have an assistant, you can contact their assistant. If they don't have an assistant, then we'll get to number 5. But I want to stay on this one for a little bit because when you get a hold of that assistant, when they give you great information, when they are super helpful, when they know exactly what the business owner wants, also get something for the assistant. It can be as simple as a gift card to a grocery store or for gas or for coffee, because a lot of times the business owners get a ton of gifts and the staff don't. So I always love trying to get something for the entire staff or for the assistant, especially in these situations. And then I've gotten a ton of cases from it. So if, giving an assistant a $5 gift card to Starbucks or $10, whatever it was, or wherever it was, in exchange for their help, now when it comes time for them to decide who a referral goes to, it's more likely to be me. When they're talking with their owner about who they like working with, hopefully my name came up from it. So that's huge. Now, in the situation where where they don't have an assistant, you can't get a hold of the assistant or you don't know, do some research. Seriously. This is, again, why I'm saying skip the ABCs. Go on Facebook. If they post regularly, scroll back through the last month. I promise you, if they post regularly, there'll be something there that helps you figure out what to get them. This is going to be really hard to do if you're only giving gifts at holiday season in December, because you're going to have to research a lot of people. But if you're doing it randomly, it's a lot easier to spend 5 minutes reading through their last, several months of posts you'll see something that comes up. Is there a problem that they're talking about solving? And you may have a resource like a book. Is there something they're interested in? You might be able to send a gift or a toy, something along those lines. Like really do that research. Number 6, quality over quantity. My son and I have gone to Chuck E. Cheese a lot, and honestly, we've had a blast. I will tell you 99% though of the stuff that you get when you cash in those tickets is complete garbage that breaks in a day or so. You don't want your gift to be the same way. You are probably better served giving fewer gifts, have those gifts be more meaningful and ultimately impactful. So if you have a budget of $100 on a person and you can get them some sort of, I don't know, like monthly bottle of wine for $8 a bottle or whatever, I would skip that. I think you're better off doing one $100 bottle or two $50 bottles if they like wine, if it makes sense, if you have the right holiday. Like think about the quality of what you're giving instead of the quantity, especially when it comes to things. The worst thing that you can do is send them something that is a pain in the butt, that breaks, food items that are terrible and don't taste good, or, you know, sending a flower arrangement for $20 and having it show up and it's like 2 flowers in a bowl that isn't even half full. Like really think about quality. This gift should be an extension of you. So you want to invest more in it and invest more in the person, even if that means sending fewer things, even if that means sending things to fewer people. Either way, I am happy for you to do that. You know, don't send some swag item to 1,000 people. Send something targeted and specific to each smaller individual person, and that's when you'll have a better impact from this. Along those lines, number 7, experiences are better than things. I will be honest, food, great. Like, so when we're saying things, if it's edible, if it's gone, that's a different story for me. But when you get somebody something physical, there's a chance that it breaks down. There's a chance that it becomes more inconvenient. There's a chance that every time they look at that picture on the wall that is slowly, you know, chipped in the corner or fading or whatever it is, they think of you in a negative light. So I would suggest the easiest thing is experiences. Also, the benefit is when you do an experience, it's not just in that moment, it's also the reminiscing about that experience. So like there's a place in my area that allows you to drive it. I have a lot of referral sources that's something crazy, right? So it's not just us spending, 2 hours crushing old cars in a tank. It's the dozens of times after that we can reminisce and think back to the experience. So for me, top level is experiences. Then it's edible items that go away. It's chocolate, it's food, it's a restaurant, stuff like that. And then, and only then, is it stuff. And I'm really specific that when it's stuff, I know it's something that is of interest to them. For example, somebody sent me a 3D printed Death Star that sits on my desk, and it's a pen holder. It is amazing. It's one of the coolest things I've ever gotten. When a lot of my clients see it, they ask me about it. It's great, but it is so incredibly specific to being something awesome for me that somebody knew I liked in a situation where I helped them through some stuff. So really think about, like, when in doubt, an experience, edible stuff, and then specific things is your last and final thing that you were going for. Number 8, this is kind of like the assistant in number 4. Think about gifting others in their life. And this can go a couple different ways. If you don't know what to get them, it may be easier to get something for somebody who matters to them. So if they're the kind of person that doesn't care where they eat, but you happen to know that their spouse loves a specific restaurant, just give them a gift card to that restaurant, right? Like the gift is for them, but really for their spouse. And in those circumstances, I can definitively tell you, I have a friend who gets more cases oftentimes from his referral sources spouses in those situations, because it's the only time they go to that fancy restaurant, because it's the only time that they can order whatever they want, because whatever it is, because it stands out more, the spouse doesn't usually get gifts. Whatever it is, it means so much more to them in that situation. It's helpful. Or if they have kids, I think it's easier to buy kids stuff than it is to buy adults things. Why? Because, like, look, if I want a random specific action figure, I'm going to go buy it. If there's a book I want, I'm going to go buy it. My child doesn't have the same luxury. So for, I can tell you we got a ton of gifts at our firm for Christmas, Hanukkah, the holidays. I can definitively tell you exactly the person who got my son this Lego Blockhead Mandalorian set. I don't know that they'd ever met my son. I think just from my posts and us talking about Star Wars, it was sufficient. But like, it stood out to me so much more getting him that set. I don't know if it was $10, $20, $50, whatever. it meant so much more to me than, you know, a bottle of wine when I'm not really a huge wine drinker, when I can go buy wine if I wanted it, you know, whatever it was along those lines. So if you're really stuck on what to get them, think about who is important in their life and give those people a gift. So it could be something for their entire office. It could be something for their spouse or significant other. It could be something for their children. Number 9, include a note. And I don't mean this just from the standpoint of like all those wonderful posts online where they're like, oh my God, the most amazing and delicious edible arrangement showed up to our office, but we don't know who it's from. Like, I don't mean just including a note. I mean including a real note. So ideally, this would be handwritten. And I don't care if you have terrible handwriting. I have terrible handwriting. My 6-year-old and I have basically the same handwriting. But including that note shows the extra little bit of effort. And then what you say in the note, having the specifics of it lined out, talking about why this is meaningful to them, why they're meaningful to you, why you're excited to share this with them. That's going to make your gift stand out so much more than no note or the printed like, hey, wishing you a joyous season of memories, whatever. Again, like, it's about them. It should be a personal gift for them, so include a personal note for them as well. And then number 10, be unexpected and fun. This probably goes into all the other 9. It certainly goes into finding the different holidays and whatnot. But like, look, here's the thing. If you are always giving the same thing to people, it sort of becomes an entitlement thing. Like if they know they're going to get a $50 gift card to Ruth's Chris or whatever from you every holiday season, there's no wonder in that. There's no joy. And if you don't do it, then they're going to sort of hold it against you. So when it comes to this, you want to be unexpected. So find the random holidays, find the interesting stuff, go from it that standpoint, and then be fun about it. Like, stand out. Listen, you can rag on dad jokes all you want, but my referral sources that get a dozen donuts on National Donut Day that says, hey, referrals from you make us donuts, or go nuts, or whatever we write in it, you know, things like that, like it stands out and it's memorable and it's an interesting little update to a random day instead of the situation where you expect the gift and so it has to live up to your expectations and you have that need for it. Like, just get over that, you know, just skip that part. Make this fun. You should enjoy giving the gift almost as much or as much as they enjoy getting the gift. That's what ultimate gift giving is. And all of that goes back to what I've said this whole time of, you know, if you follow me, you know, to me, networking is doing what I want to do with who I want to do it with. So gift giving is giving wonderful things that I want to share or provide to people that I genuinely care about. And when you boil it down to that way, it's not work. It's fun. It's life. It's living in the moment. It's spending great time with people. And it will still impact the bottom line of your business because you will get more cases. The more people think of you, the more they like you, the more they know you through things like this. But really invert the whole process and just do nice things for people you already care about, more so than this weird, like, forcing yourself to give the right gift, touch point, this, that, the other. Like, no, like, just be human and connect with people that you care about, and then use these 10 tips. These will make it easier. They will not overcome the fact that you feel like this is as terrible as a root canal, you know? So once you're there, these things help you make that gift that much more impactful, help make your firm run that much better. Because at the end of the day, I want you to run a business you can be proud of and live a life that's even better. See you on the next video.